We will see for which are all the problems appropriate where you can use the decision tree learning. The first problem is whenever you have instances in your data set which are represented by means of attribute value pair, then you can use the decision tree. You know what is the attribute value pair? We have seen so many data sets in the candidate elimination algorithm and then finders algorithm. So there, every instance is represented by means of fixed set of attribute. Like I can say that one of the attribute is temperature. And in the instance that is in the record, I will say what is the value for that particular temperature also. So if your instances are represented by attribute value pair, you can use the decision tree for classifying those instances. And one more thing is, these instances is going to have attributes, and these attributes can take value either on a small number of disjoint possible values. That means that if I say temperature, I can say that temperature can be either hot or mild or otherwise cold. There are 3 different values in this. Okay, so if these values are small in number, you can apply the decision tree algorithm. Or otherwise, if your output is also, if the attribute value is also real valued, then you can go for the decision tree. Like when you represent your marks as an attribute, mark cannot have only 3 different values. I cannot say that all the students will have mark 55 or 65 and so on. Anybody can get any value. It is a real value attribute. For that also, you can use the decision tree. But you can apply the decision tree only for the supervised learning task. If it is unsupervised, where you don't have the class label, you cannot use the decision tree algorithm. It is only used for supervised learning classification problems. So the target function, that is nothing but our output label, which we want to predict, or the concept we want to learn, it has discrete output values. What is the meaning of discrete output values is, your target function will have either 2 values like yes or no, or otherwise it can have 3 values or 4 values and so on. We have seen that in Boolean classification, we will have only 2 labels. And if it is multi-class classification, you will have more than 2 labels. But it should have discrete output values. In that case, you can use the decision tree algorithm. And the third case is, you can use this algorithm if disjunctive descriptions are required. In case of a decision tree, you can travel in multiple branches. Every branch is going to tell you the answer. So whenever you have a problem of this type of description, you can use the decision tree for that. And the next one is, you can even use the decision tree when your training data contain errors. So the decision tree learning method are robust to errors, both errors in classification of the training examples and errors in the attribute value. What is the difference between these two? Error in the attribute value means I want to enter temperature as hot, but wrongly I have entered as cold. So that is the error in the attribute value. And the second one is the training example only you are creating for the first time. When you are creating the training example, assume that I have one instance. For the instant, output is yes. But by wrongly, I have typed it as no. Okay. In case of a decision tree, if your attribute is having some missing value, in that case also, you can make use of the decision tree algorithm to classify it properly. So this is the advantage of going for decision tree. So for these types of problems, you can make use of a decision tree. Now let us see how the classification is going to work. The data classification process is a 2-step process. And we have now learning step, and the second one is classification step. So what is done in the learning step is, the classification model is constructed in the learning step. And when we go for the classification step, whatever model you have constructed in the learning step, that model will be used to predict the class label for the given unseen data. Here, very important is, in case of classification step, you are going to use an example which is unseen during the construction of the learning step. We will see this now. So the first step is learning step. So what is learning? Learning is nothing but your algorithm is going to learn certain things. So what it is going to learn and how it is going to learn. When I want to learn anything, I need some training data. So this learning algorithm is nothing but it is a classification algorithm, and it is going to develop the classifier by analyzing the training example with class labels. That means that this is my classification algorithm. This is a decision tree algorithm. Now I have to develop this algorithm. Now what is the aim here is, I have to give some input to this algorithm, that is nothing but the data set. So I'll be giving the training data as input to this particular algorithm. Very important thing is the training data should also have the decision labels. So here the loan decision is the target you want to predict. This is a decision label. So this is a supervised learning. So the training data must be labeled data. So you're going to give this as input to this particular algorithm. And now what this algorithm is going to do, it is going to learn the features with the help of this training data. So now the algorithm learns the mapping or the model or the function, which is nothing but y is equal to f of x. Here x stands for your input features. According to this example, the features are name, age, and then income. So all these are the input features. With the help of the input features, the algorithm should predict this y. Y is nothing but class label. According to this, it is loan decision. Okay, for that, I need the function f. So here, x is given in this example, y is also given in this example. So what is not given is the function f. So your aim is, the input is given, output is also given. You have to learn how you got that in output from the given input. That is, the mapping function should be learned in the algorithm. And that is called as the function f. And you can represent this mapping either in terms of classification rules, or otherwise decision trees, or otherwise mathematical formulae. Anything you can use. Now we are going to use the decision tree for writing this mapping function. Okay. So now let us see how this is going to work. So once the training data is given, the mapping, the classification algorithm is going to learn the mapping function. That is nothing but here it is given as classification rules. So what is the classification rule? How it will be? It will be some if then else rule only. So here my aim is I want to find whether sanctioning a loan to a particular person is risky or safe. So on what basis I am going to predict? If you see the first rule, it is saying that if age is equal to youth, then decision loan is equal to risky. So what is given here is if the person is a young person, he may not be earning anything. So he cannot give the loan amount. So don't give the loan to him because he is not earning, he cannot pay the installments. So the decision is now risky. And if you see the second condition, here it is, if income is equal to high, then loan decision is equal to safe. That means that if I am earning a lot, definitely I'll be paying my installment. So the output is now safe. In both these things, only one parameter is checked. Immediately you are coming to the conclusion, either risky or otherwise safe. If you see the third condition, if age is equal to middle-aged, here I am taking age and age is middle-aged. That means that the person is earning. It's not like young age people who are studying still, so they may not have any income. But here age is middle-aged. That means I am earning something. But in that case, what I have to see, if I am earning, you have to see my income. Based upon that only you can give the loan. So the second condition is, if age is middle-aged, I have to check one more condition, that is nothing but income is equal to low. If both are true, what is the meaning? Age is middle-aged, income is also low means I may not be able to pay the installment. So you will immediately come to a conclusion that decision is equal to risky. So your condition can be either one condition or combination of two conditions, anything based upon which you come to a conclusion without any doubt. That is the rule of the decision tree. Okay, you are developing the classification rule now. Now let us see how we can develop these rules. So this is a learning task. So in the learning task, what we have seen is we will be giving the training data, which is a training example with class label. And the classification algorithm is going to learn the mapping function. The function can be represented either in terms of a classification rule or decision tree or otherwise mathematical formulae. Now, what is the second step? Second step is classification step. So what is done in this particular step? So in the first step, we have formed the classification rules. And in the second step, you have to test the accuracy of these rules. How correctly they are predicting a new data when it is given as input to the classification rules. So for that, you have one more new data. So for that, we need something called as test data. In the previous case, for developing the classification model, we have used the training data. And here we have one more data that is called as test data. Now, What is the classification step is, the learn model is used for the classification. The rules can be used to categorize future data tuples. So here future data tuples is nothing but the test data. When you give the test data as input to the classification rule, it has to predict the output correctly. And sometimes you will not give the test data. When the algorithm is in run, you may give any new data whichever you are encountering at that particular instant also. Whatever may be, whether you are testing the classification rule with the test data or otherwise new data, it has to predict them correctly. That is, with accuracy, it has to predict. Okay, so now what is this test data? How I can select the test data? Is there any restriction I have? Yes. So what is test data is, it should be independent of the training tuples. That means if I give you 100 records, 60 records you can use for training and remaining 40 records you can use for testing. Or otherwise 80 records you can use for training and remaining 20 you can use for testing. Definitely the testing records should not be used during the training of the model. That is very important. So it is independent of the training tuples, and they were not used to construct the classifier, because for constructing the classifier, we have used only the training records. And they are made up of test tuples and their associated class labels. Again, the testing data set should also have the associated labels. Then only you can use it. And then the test data are used to estimate the accuracy of the classification rule. In any machine learning algorithm, definitely we will be testing. With that test data only, we will say what is the accuracy of that particular model. For example, I will say that accuracy is 80%, or 20%, or 90%, and so on. Okay, the accuracy is determined only by checking the model against the test data. And after testing it, if you find that the accuracy is acceptable, then the rules can be applied to the classification of new data tuples. That means once I get the accuracy as 90%, whatever new data I am giving, I can predict the accuracy of that model with the help of this particular training rules. Okay, suppose if your accuracy is only 20%, it means that the model is not good. It does not learn perfectly. So don't test any new data with the help of those models. You have to improve the accuracy of the model. That is the meaning of this. Now, let us understand what is accuracy. Accuracy is nothing but percentage of test set tuples which are correctly classified by the classifier. That means that if I give 4 records for testing, if 3 are correctly classified, then my accuracy is 3 divided by 4, which is nothing but 75%. Suppose if all the 4 are correctly classified, my accuracy is 100% accuracy. So accuracy of your model is determined only with the help of this test data. When you get higher accuracy, definitely you can use the model for classifying the new data, whichever is unseen so far.